And good morning, everyone. Welcome back to ASM 2021. I'll be your host, JC Magic Man, for the next few runs. Up next is Super Mario Galaxy Any Percent Luigi with uh, on the Wii with Lachurs. And take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name's not Lachurs, it's Lachurs. And welcome to Super Mario Galaxy. You may be wondering why I'm not on the home menu screen. Well, I am on the home menu screen, but why I'm not outside of the game and like on file select. It's because we have to do a very important setup before we do the run. That is very important because it manipulates RNG and is very important because it saves time. And we like saving time. Isn't that right? Also, I'm joined by my friend Flygon Man, who also happens to run this game and will help me explain
Hello.
things because sometimes I am too focused on doing the thing.
Yes, I'm Flygon Man. Thanks for having me, Lachurs.
So I reckon we get this setup started. So I guess I'll let Flygon Man explain it because he understands this a lot better than I do, and I'll just do it, and he can do it, talk over the top of it. All right.
All right, so basically what we have to do here is that Camilla will throw, when you fight Camilla in Space Junk 2, she's going to throw a fireball and then a shell on phase 1. Fireball, shell, and just repeat. But what we can do is that which one you're on is actually stored in the memory of the game. So if we wait for her to throw a fireball, um, and then if we were to say leave, it would still register that we're on shell. So our next attack would be a shell. So we're gonna do that for phase 1, and we're gonna wait till she throws a fireball and then throw a shell at her to advance to phase 2. And then we're going to do the same thing on phase 2 to manipulate it so that a shell comes up first. And then phase 3 is a little bit different. It's fireball, shell, so you have to wait 2. And after we wait 2, then the shell will be ready for us.
Correction there.
And
On the first time you set up Camilla, you only have to do it
yeah.
once on the third phase, but every other time it's two.
But yeah, you'll see more what we mean when we get to Space Junk 2.
Yeah,
Which
it's
will
about
be,
30 minutes into the run, so
yeah, about half an hour from now.
yeah. All right, well, I'm ready to go. I'm properly ready to go. If we want to start, so timing starts when I click on this button in the bottom right corner. So I'll count down from 10, and we'll get this show on the road. Rightio. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So yeah, welcome to Super Mario Galaxy again. First up, we have Gateway, and probably one of the most annoying segments in the run, bunnies. So if you've ever played this game casually, you would know that like how annoying these bunnies are to catch, and we have to do it fast to save time. And the fastest way to do that is to collect these like star bits at the start. Oh, I didn't grab many. And then shoot them at the bunnies. I'm gonna try my hardest to do it as best I can, but I don't know if I'm gonna be getting them all very quickly.
So hitting these bunnies is pretty hard because obviously they're moving targets and they, keep running.
Yeah,
So
well, I messed up bunny 1, so that's kind of annoying. I'm just gonna follow
we have
him.
to catch 3 here.
That's probably the hardest of the 3 bunnies to catch, in my opinion. The other 2 are pretty easy to get. Like this one here. Just like that. Another thing about Gateway is it sort of introduces the first, like, main part of the speedrun, which is Starbit monitoring. I need to make sure I'm leaving the bunny section with at least 1 or 2 star bits for later in the level. And this theme sort of plays out through the whole entire run. And we're going to try and collect about 1,400 star bits through the entire run. And I messed up a strat at the start of the level. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we should probably mention, as you may notice, all of the text is in Japanese. We're going to be playing in the Japanese version of the game because the text saves time if you play on Japanese. We're also going to be playing on the Wii U Virtual Console version because the loads are a little bit faster.
Overall, it saves about 2 minutes over an English PAL disc or NTSCU disc. So yeah, Rosalina just put a loomer in our face, and now we've gained the ability to do a pirouette, which will help us heaps in the run with heaps of little strategies and things. It's funny because the first piece of movement we do in the game, as soon as we get the ability to spin, is to spin.
Yep.
So there I did a spin cancel to avoid getting a cutscene from the loomer that was sitting in front of me there. And then long jumping into those crystals to break them. Here we get introduced to like star chips. So these star chips, when you collect 5 of them, they'll spawn something like in this case, a launch star and either pull stars or something. Alright, I'll let you explain this trick.
Okay, so what Lachurs is going to be going for here is called a mega triple jump. And basically, you can triple jump in this game by pressing A, jumping 3 times in a row. But you can get a much higher triple jump if you go to neutral slightly before you do the triple jump.
Got it!
And,
Oh my god, I got it!
Wow. And you also have to be the slope of the ground that you're on has to change a little bit. So right there, he goes to neutral on the control stick for about a frame before the triple jump happens, and you get a much higher triple jump. It's really, really precise. And then also he's going to be doing a 2P jump out of there to get even more height. And basically, you may have noticed there are 2 cursors on the screen, and that's because Lachurs is playing with what's called 2-player.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about 2-player?
Yeah, so basically, I'm holding 2 Wii remotes in one hand. And the implications of 2-player, obviously, like you saw there was that, like, higher jump. That's, like, one of the biggest implications of 2-player. Other things that a lot of people miss, it's easy to grab star bits with 2P as well. Like, you grab a lot more throughout the entire run than you do with 1P. And then, which will get showcased pretty shortly, actually. And then the final thing is, you can hold enemies and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, like, pauses them and stuff, and it makes some things a lot easier.
This 2P tech is something that hasn't really been shown off at too many marathons, but it makes the game a lot more interesting from just a standard 1P run because you can just add a whole bunch of new tricks to the game.
And it makes a lot of tricks that were, like, hard previously pretty, trivial.
Yeah.
There are some good examples of those coming up soon. So yeah, here we get our first Rosalina cutscene. So after beating Gateway and unlocking Terrace, we get to talk to Rosalina for a bit.
And the interesting thing about text in this game is you can't just, spam A as hard as you can and, win with the text. You have to time it.
Except for this minute little bit of this cutscene here where it goes into the slideshow. Spamming A actually is faster than holding A.
Yeah. But generally, you'll see that Lachurs will hold A until the end of a text box, release it for a short bit, and then press A again to close it. And that's because holding A will scroll the text a little bit faster.
So yeah, sometimes you might hear me mutter something like 2 or 1, and that's just to, like, figure out or try and remind myself how many lines of text before I need to press A. Because
and we're also not going to be saving this run.
Savings for losers.
Yep.
Yeah. And like we said with the text, because you have to hold A and time A presses, a lot of newer runners as well, myself as included, tend to lose a bit of time to text box alone.
Yeah.
Alright, heading into Good Egg 1. Good Egg 1's pretty stock standard level. Like Gateway, it has a lot of introductory sort of like gameplay styles, including a boss fight as well. It's the first level where we'll be collecting like a huge excess of star bits. We need to get 400 star bits before the end of the 12th. Well, by the end of the 12th star in this run. As we'll be unlocking a Hungry Luma later in the game. Oh, that doesn't look good. Okay, actually I'm fine.
Yeah, so on this peanut planet here, you're going to see that Lachurs is able to hold these boulders down with 2P. A 1P runner generally wouldn't be able to do that, but
Yeah.
we can, and that gives us a lot of extra star bits.
Yeah.
A
If
1P runner on this level... Oh, go ahead.
If you're running 1P, to break those like boulders, I guess you call them, you'd have to spin on their red things, which is pretty difficult to time.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna net us a good 60 extra star bits or so.
One thing you just saw me do there was grounded 2P jumps. So by pressing A on both Wii remotes at the same time while hovering over Luigi, I can basically I jump, keep a lot of my speed, but also get a higher jump as well. And it comes in handy in quite a lot of places. They're included. Skipping like that entire planet thing. So we've got Dino Piranha Baby. I don't know what he's actually called, but he's pretty
Dino
easy.
Piranha.
You just sort of hit his bulb a bit. Oh, I got a good. He ran the right way. I'm happy.
Nice. Yep, so that's star number 2.
Star number 2 out of 61. It's okay. It does start to, like, the speed at which we grab the stars does pick up. These are probably 2 of the longest splits in the run.
Yeah. First one's 4 minutes, this one's 4.5.
But this one's only 3.5. Or if you're good, 3.25.
Yep.
Actually, speaking of 2P, this next level actually is, like, completely broken with 2P.
This is the level where they teach you about Hungry Lumas. You need 100 star bits to feed a Hungry Luma to progress. And obviously our 2P cursor is going to help us collect those star bits much easier. So it's not uncommon to see 2P runners save a lot of time on this level.
I think the Seagold is like... Well, actually, currently it's just barely faster than the 1P Seagold.
Yeah. The other thing to note, I don't know if Lachurs mentioned this, but the 2P cursor has a much bigger radius than the 1P cursor. So that makes getting star bits with 2P a lot easier. That's one of the big things that 2P helps with.
Yeah, so you can see, like, shaking that bush to the side of me as well with the 2P allowed me to grab those star bits. Oh, I really knocked them all the way over here, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, if you just kind of wave your cursor around at the bushes where the star bits come out.
So here I'm going to do a backflip homing ground pound onto this yellow Luma, and we're going to skip having to have to spawn some stars. You see there? Oh, I got all of them. Wow. You see there, I was using 2P to hit these green, like, balls. I don't know what they're called, like, officially called.
Yeah, the spiky plants.
Yeah, to hit the spiky plants.
And they net us a good 3 star bits each. And that's something that 1P could do by walking up to them, but it would just be really slow.
I sniped the Goomba, but at what cost? He's really close to me. So, yeah. If we were running 1P, we would have to get every single crystal on this planet, as well as potentially one bush. But as you can see, I just ran towards that one crystal and collected, well, all of its star bits. I wanted to play it a bit safe. Usually, what you would do is you would break a lot more of those red spike plants. And you would usually come onto that planet with about 98, 97 star bits. and that would just mean you'd have to run through like one bush or 2p a bush, and you get the remaining star bits. Oh boy, the Pill Planet, everyone's favorite.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about the Pill Planet is that the cycle here, I believe, is what's known as a global cycle, as in, like, when you start the level, the cycle starts moving, as opposed to a lot of other things in this game, which only move when they're on screen. So you'll see a little bit later, and in a lot of levels, that Lachurs will intentionally turn the camera on or away from something so that things start moving in cycles that are more desirable.
Yeah. Yeah, so we finished up with Good Egg. So this is actually sort of where my route, or at least the 2p route, deviates actually from the 1p route. So, quite recently, a lot of the top level runners have switched over to a route known as Going Commando. Don't ask me why it's called that. I don't know why it's called that. Flygon probably does, but probably shouldn't explain it. But pretty much the idea of the route is that instead of playing through Battle Rock, which is a very long stage, you collect 400 star bits early and you open up a Hungry Lumen that gives you a really quick level. But the problem with that route is you needed to collect 400 star bits really early. But it was theorized that potentially doing Good Egg 3 rather than a later stage in Terrace, you could net a few more star bits. But for 2p, like we said, the cursor is really good at collecting star bits, so we continue doing Loop-de-Loop, which is the later stage.
Yeah, so the thing about Loop-de-Loop, when we get there, we'll explain that a little bit more.
We should probably explain what's going on with this level, actually.
Yeah. So this is Honey Hive 1. Basically, there's kind of a really long section, but you can skip all of it using a trick known as Honey Hive 1 skip. What Lachurs is going to be doing is getting up on this slope.
Oop, that's bad.
He's going to be doing what's known as slope climbing. So when he faces backwards and he holds in the direction down the slope and jumps, he's going to be able to get a midair spin out of that. If he were to just hold up, like upwards, towards the top of the slope, he wouldn't be able to spin. Luigi would just kind of jump in place and not really be able to do anything.
Yeah, you get a small
But if he
jump.
holds down the slope, he's able to get a spin, so he's able to climb up this slope.
This is quite not good. It was not a good position.
Uh-oh. Unfortunately, I think he jumped a little bit too early there.
No, don't like that. Didn't have any speed. Yeah, we're gonna go for this until we get it. It's not the end of the world. Usually you'd want to get this first try, but unfortunately,
This trick is, a really, really difficult trick, and it saves probably a full minute over going around the normal way.
I think that's good. No, it's not. Huh. Oh boy, we get to climb up to the tree again. Everyone's favorite.
Yeah, so essentially what he's going for is he's going for a wall jump on the wall. That's right there.
Yeah,
It's a pretty... Go ahead.
It is a very difficult trick to do consistently, so I'm not surprised that I'm messing it up.
Yeah. And the other thing to note is that he has to have enough speed to make it across the gap.
There we go. We got it.
Not bad. This can be a pretty major reset point for just regular runs.
This is usually the point where my run usually starts. Yeah, once we finish Honey Hive 1 though, we get to speak to Toad, Captain Toad. Captain Toad's first first his debut in the Mario series was this level, I think. Someone can correct me on that, but I think that's right.
Maybe.
And then Rosalina explains to us that Captain Toad has now boarded the starship, the observatory starship SMG-2. So now we get to enter Honey Hive 2, where we get to do a similar style skip. But this one saves less time compared to the Honey Hive 1-1, and is also easier. So yeah, back onto our route discussion. Yeah, so in the past, so the route that we're currently using was known, but was only implemented, at least by a lot of people, very recently. Flygon Man and myself were actually running this route back in a long time ago.
Yeah, generally, a lot before this time, a lot of 1P runners would do some of the stars in Battle Rock because getting enough starbits for Sling Pod, which we're going to see about 35-40 minutes in, 13 stars in, was just too difficult to do, or not really too difficult, but it was just too slow to optimally get 400 starbits. It is something that 1P runners would do anyway in the 120 route, but in 120 you kind of have to go out of your way to make sure you have enough starbits for everything. Whereas in 90%, it's just not super optimal.
But it was quickly discovered that you could do Good Egg 3 for 1P. You could do Good Egg 3, which is a level we're not doing because we are awesome 2P runners. You could do Good Egg 3 and collect about the same amount of starbits you would normally collect in Loop-de-Loop with 2P, and lose just a little bit of time, but still be faster than the previous route.
Yeah.
So it made the starbit collecting pretty easy for 1P. But it's still pretty tight on starbits. Like, we only just make it to 400 by the time we get to the Sling Pod. So that was Honey Hive 2. We climbed up a windmill. Usually what you would have to do is go through that launch star and go all the way over to these 2 other planets. And then, like, land on the windmill on top of the tree and, you know, start the windmill by turning on the wind.
Yeah.
But instead we just do some wall kicks and some jumps and we make it up there.
It's just the mill.
The mill. Now we move on to Honey Hive 3. Another pretty quick stage. Another stage where we can grab quite a bit of starbits. So yeah. One thing you'll actively see me do is like moving my cursor to places where I can grab starbits. Especially in the fly into a level, you can grab quite a few starbits in quite a few levels. So it's very important that you are focusing during those sections. And here we get our first power-up. Mario puts on his best Jerry Seinfeld's cosplay, becomes a bee. We get to fly up onto this stage. Usually you would use those, like, I don't know what you'd call them. To get there.
Flowers.
Yeah, the flowers. But you would, you can just fly up there. There's actually a strat called B-less, which is 2P only, where you can do that whole section without getting the B power-up. But, one, it's very difficult to do. And two, it's, it doesn't save as much time as you think it would. Because you'd have to watch the B cutscene. Or press A for a text box later. I didn't mention it, but we are fighting a boss called Bugaboom. He's dead now. And we get the star. Alright, here's the big one. Loop-de-loop. So like we were saying before, this is the stage that pretty much makes this route impossible for 1P. But for 2P, we're gonna completely break it. So I need to focus for this, but Flygon Man could probably talk about it when I'm doing it.
Yeah, so we're doing manta ray surfing here, and the thing about 1P is that 1P doesn't get the cursor to use, but 2P, the 2P cursor still shows up on the screen. So there are a lot of starbits around this this course that are not really accessible for 1P, just because the 1P cursor isn't shown on the screen. but Lachurs will be grabbing all these star bits, and this will net us about 100 star bits.
I usually get like 115.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to press A on this thing. So yeah. And the thing that makes this level hard is that not only am I like trying to grab star bits with my 2P cursor, but at the same time I'm having to navigate this like windy and curly course with motion controls, which can be quite awkward to do. As you can see, I've got the 2P like moving around. And the main strategy with the 2P Wii Remote is just to sort of hover it around the sort of middle top area of your screen.
And again, when there's that that yellowish ring around the 2P, that's because he's holding A, and that makes the cursor have a lot bigger radius.
Oh, it's happening. Oh, that was tight. Yeah, okay, I need to sit back a bit more because my sensor bar is not reading my 2P cursor sometimes.
Yeah, the sensor bar can be really annoying to work with in this game because you have to be about just like 3 feet, more than 3 feet, but less than 9 feet away.
It's kind of weird. Sub 1, let's go.
Let's go.
It's actually good. Yeah, so that was, yeah. So some runners, some 2P runners will actually, like, they will keep their 2 Wii remotes combined through the entirety of that, section and grab the star bits like that. I find that a bit unintuitive, so I, like, separate my 2 Wii remotes and use both my hands simultaneously. I've got pretty good at that.
And again, when Lachurs is saying like tape them together, you know, have them together as separate, we literally tape our Wii remotes or put Velcro strips on our Wii remotes so that we can hold them together.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
And that's how 2P works.
All right, so we're entering Flip Switch, which is a pretty no-brainer stage. So if we do have a few donations, we can read them here if you'd like.
Sure, we don't have any at the moment, but I will go over the incentives that we have coming up very shortly. We've got the Smile Me Whack-A-Roll minigame coming up. That's at $61 out of 400, and then up after that is the Banjo-Kazooie Glitch Exhibition. That's a Taz video, which is sitting at $671.69 out of 750. So if you wanted to see either of those get met, get your donations in there. And I might just remind people that we're Oz Speedruns, and we do speedrun events to raise money for charity. For ASM 2021, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity promoting good mental health through raising the awareness and reducing the stigma around these issues. If you'd like to donate, the link to do so is donate.ozspeedruns.com, or exclamation mark donate in chat. And if you want to check out the new Oz Speedruns website, that is ozspeedruns.com. And I'll go back to you.
You timed that perfectly because we have a really important skip coming up that I almost forgot about. Oh, sorry, we got a text box to go through first. So coming up here, we have Bowser Jr. 1, or Mega Leg, or as my split says, Thunder Thighs. So this galaxy only has 2 planets. It's supposed to be this massive boss fight, but speedrunners trivialize the stage, and it's even trivialized further when we use 2P. So I guess I'll just show it off, and then we can explain what happened. Alright, so what happened is I skipped the first planet by just 2P jumping.
Yeah.
So for anyone...
Mega legs.
So for anyone who has played the game or has watched any glitch exposition videos, they would know about the the triple jump off the launch star platform, but not a lot of people know that you can triple jump off that starting platform to do the same skip. Yeah, you were saying, sorry?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because they kind of had to make the mega leg, the gravity field for mega leg so huge, otherwise you'd kind of just float out into space. Having that big gravity makes it really easy to take advantage of and just do that 2P jump.
Yeah. And then coming up here, we just have to lure some bullet bills into some things, and we pretty much beat the level. It's pretty easy from here. You'll see a strat. The intended method is to lure some bullet bills to break these like sort of things. But if you just backflip and spin and then ground pound over the top, the bullet bill gets lured straight into the star, and that's pretty free. Anyone could do that. I did that in my casual playthrough. And that's Terrace done. Not much to see about it. There's about 28 star bits in Mega Leg there that we collected. I think we're good on star bits. I think I had 298 going into there, so it should be good.
I think you're pretty good.
So yeah. Now we get one of Rosalina's world famous cutscenes. And we get to talk to Rosalina again. Yeah, I don't
start winning the next skip.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we actually talked about how 2P jumping actually works there.
Oh, why don't we do that? Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Alright, so basically what you have to do to get a mid-air 2P jump, like you saw at Mega Leg, he did a backflip and a mid-air 2P jump. What he's going for is a homing ground pound. So when you shake and press Z, Luigi will do a homing ground pound. And then if you point at Luigi with your 2P remote and press A, that's how you do the extra mid-air 2P jump. The problem is that being able to do the 2P jump requires you to spin and press the Z button within a 6-frame window. So that can make 2P jumps kind of inconsistent. You just have to be able to hit that 6-frame window, which,
Yeah.
again, is kind of tight in a 60 FPS game. Can take a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of us, like 2P runners, have sort of built up. I guess it's mostly a feel thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming up, Space Junk 1, this is probably, in my opinion, the worst level in the run, all because of this one skip at the very start of the level. I'm going to try and focus and get it first try.
I can explain it.
You can explain it. The Discovery can explain it.
So, the first thing that is important to know is that Luigi gets a lot of backwards momentum if he is moving backwards, just, falling.
Got it.
So what Lachurs is going to do is he's going to go between these two pole stars, and he's going to break out of the little pole star bubble, and he wants to do so while he's facing backward, and then he can just continue to fly backward all the way to this other planet here, and that saves probably 15-20 seconds. That skips getting star chips on some really awkward planets with annoying gravity. And yeah, also right here again, usually you'd have to save the toads, but we can just skip that, the crystals up there, just
by 2P jumping.
2P jump. Yeah.
If you were doing 1P, that's actually another thing that makes Space Junk 1 hard, is if you were doing 1P, you'd have to do this like really awkward triple jump.
Yeah.
Where you like...
It's similar to the trick that Lachurs did in Gateway to skip killing one of the Goombas.
But it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing to note about Sling Stars, which is the thing that I entered doing that 2P jump, is that their radius is very wide. Like, you can spin like an entire 2 meters away from, and you'll still enter it somehow. But yeah. Now we're entering Space Junk 2, which is the level we were previously setting up. So, guess we're around the 30-minute mark in the run.
Yeah.
Space Junk 2 is a pretty stock standard level again. It's just some long jumps and some stuff with shells. Actually, it is the first introduction of shells, like throwable shells in this game. At least in the run. And they can be very either your best friend or your worst enemy sometimes, depending on just how the game wants to treat you. No. That was a good spin. So here's our first shell. As you can see, it's just sitting there, and we've picked it up. And we want to throw it into the shell. The reason I don't throw it immediately there is because sometimes I'll like throw the shell and it'll go straight towards the little Magic Cooper over there. But fortunately it didn't.
Yeah. The targeting can be kind of weird with this game.
So here we have to kill these two like octo goober things. And you can see the bridge has fallen, I've grabbed a shell. If I were to enter that sling star in front of me, I would lose the shell, but I can just triple jump up to here and keep the shell into the fight. And that saves me time having to have to wait for Camilla to sort of stop and then wave her wand to throw a shell. I can just sort of pick one up there and immediately hit her. So as you can see, here Camilla usually would throw a fire, but she's throwing a shell, and that's because we did that setup at the start there. And we'll see the same again on this last hit as well.
Everything we did to store in the memory at the beginning of the run is now paying off here.
Yeah. And that saves about like 10-15 seconds in that level alone. 38, so that should be 360. I think I'll just barely have enough out of Space Junk 3.
How many do you have right now?
I have like 300, just under 330, which is like my benchmark for exiting Terrace. Yeah, 366. That should be fine. I usually get like 50 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me muttering like star bit counts and whatnot. It's very important that I do hit 400 because this is the last level before we go to Sling Pod, and I'm still like 40 star bits away from unlocking it.
Because at this point, the other route called Pushback 2.1 would go to do Rolling Green now. Because Space Junk 3 is just a little bit slow if you're not going to do Sling Pod anyway. Because Space Junk 3 is what actually unlocks Sling Pod.
See, I guess we can talk about what's different between the two routes. So we have, in this route we do Space Junk 3, Sling Pod, and Ghostly 2. Whereas in the old route we would do Battle Rock 1, 2. Well, we do Battle Rock 2, 3, and Comet. Because Battle Rock Comet's like a minute and a half long stage. So you just saw me clip through the ground. That launch star, like, its hitbox just sort of, like, protrudes out from the glass there quite a bit. And when you do a crouch spin, Luigi's legs sort of clip into the bottom of things. It was very important there. So we get our first introduction to Sling Pods. I guess that's what I call these Sling Pods. I don't know what they're actually called.
Yeah, they're Sling Pods.
Sling Pods. And they can be the most annoying thing in the world for some people, but also like not an annoying thing. They're not good.
Yeah.
And this is Quentin Tarantino, the spider, and I missed. Nice. The whole premise of this is you just have to hit his back bulb and then the 3 bulbs on the bottom. Nintendo kindly gave us a toad to launch into him there, so I do that there. There's a strat where you can, on this phase here, you can launch that toad like right before you before it goes into the cutscene there, and you like instantly flip him back over. But it's really difficult. I've never gotten it. Flygon Man's probably gotten it.
I've never done it.
I can't seem to play the level right.
Yeah, the 2D sections in this game aren't super well made.
This boss fight's just not very well made.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, you'll just be holding left, and it'll be like, oh, you're walking right now.
Yeah. So I have 44 star bits, so we should be good now.
Yep.
should be 410 out of here. Sometimes the star grab can be really annoying. I got put in a bad spot. I got it perfectly though. Right here. Well, okay, so now we're going to be exiting Fountain for a split second to go play Sling Pod. And the reason we do Sling Pod now rather than later, you may be thinking to like extend the amount of levels we can grab star bits in, because like we've unlocked Battle Rock 1 now. So we can go and we could potentially go and do Battle Rock 1. But after this star, we actually get a cutscene for Comets, and it just so happens that when you beat Sling Pod, normally you would get sent straight back to the front of the observatory in front of Rosalina. So we try and pair up beating Sling Pod with getting this, because Comet starts spawning, this Comet cutscene as well. So it stops us from having to go all the way back to the start twice. We only have to do it once. Alright. I'm going for it.
You want me to explain it?
I can explain it. So this is the first level where there's a like an exclusive 2P strat. Like this is the only level in the game where you can do this sort of 2P tech. And I'm going to attempt it. If I get it, it'll be really hype. If I don't get it, it won't be hype. Oh, I died. I'm going to go for it again. That was unfortunate. I didn't go fast enough. Oh, my angle was just bad.
Yeah, so these cannonball cycles are pretty annoying to deal with.
I missed it. Okay, I'm not going to go for it again, but I'll explain what I was trying to do. So, for some reason, if you see, my first movement here is a long jump into these sling pods. For some reason, that sort of gets stored in your, I guess, in your jump archives. Because by doing I think it's a 4-frame window just before you exit the sling pod, like, launch state. Or just at the end. Oh, I got hit. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna cry. Maybe I shouldn't explain a trick while trying to do a difficult stage. But if you press ground pound and 2PA at the same time, right as you are exiting the like sort of sling state, oh my god, really? That barely missed? Well, we won't be tied on star bits anymore, that's for sure.
How did that miss?
Yeah, I know, it's a bit annoying. You'll receive that like stored jump or whatever. There we go. Okay, final launch.
Yeah, so to finish that explanation off, if Lachurs stores a long jump into the first sling pod, then if he presses the 2PA button in a 4-frame window...
And ground pound as well, you need to ground pound is important.
Ground pound and press the 2PA. That long jump will be used up again.
And you'll get a really cool looking like mid-air long jump.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you can see, Rosalina is telling us about comets there. So no matter what, by once you finish the 13th star, you'll get teleported all the way back to the start of the observatory. And we'll have to traverse all the way back to Fountain. So now we're entering Battle Rock 1. This is a star. There's not really much to say about Battle Rock 1. It's pretty... I mean, depending on how you play it, actually, it can be either a resident sleeper stage or a resident, oh my god, I could lose like 30 second stage. But the thing that's important right now is that the intended method to do this level is to collect these 4 like blue chips, but traversing these planets is quite awkward and difficult, and also collecting things is slow. So we're just gonna like do this.
That launch star looks in good distance for just a backflip 2P jump.
Well, I did a triple jump, but okay.
Yeah, I mean both methods work.
Yeah, that's like the one place where I prefer to do the 1P strat over the actually no, that's a lie. But like I prefer to do the 1P strat over the 2P strat.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can explain it. So remember that mega triple jump from a gateway? Well, we can do it again here. We can do it again here, and we can actually leave the gravity of this sort of moving platform and completely skip having to have to do this auto scroller, and it saves about 30 seconds. And we have to do this level twice, by the way. But unfortunately, we're not skipping it, so we have to sort of sit through this. So this would be a great time if you had like a donation or two.
Absolutely. I will just remind people of those incentives that are coming up again. So we've got a couple. We've got the Whack-A-Mole mini game sitting at $61 out of 400, and we've got the Banjo-Kazooie Glitch exhibition, which is a Taz video sitting at 671 out of 750. So if you want to see either of those get met, get your donations in. And I'll remind people yet again that we're Oz Speedruns, and we do speedrun events to raise money for charity. For ASM 2021, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity promoting good mental health through raising the awareness and reducing the stigma around these issues. If you'd like to donate, the link to do so is donate.ozspeedruns.com or !donate in chat. And I'll go back to you.
Yeah, well, we just finished the level, so that was good timing.
Seem to have my timing down so far.
You've got it. You're doing great. Yeah. So remember Space Junk 1 and how we had that horrible skip to do? Yeah, we get to do it again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Very fast levels will get repeated a lot.
Yeah. So this is the first comet of the run. This is a speedrun comet, and true to its name, it's a slow star. Even though they're quote-unquote speedrun comets, like I think there's 3 of them in this run, in this entire game, all 3 of them are like slow stars. This is the fastest of the 3, and the only reason we do this star is because the other star that we could do, Battle Rock 2, is just extremely slow as well. So
Yeah.
we end up having to do this one in the route, which is kind of annoying. But
Until Space Junk 1 skip was found, this star was not in the route, even, so...
that did not work. So you can see I missed the main setup that I do there, but this setup should not work. And this is sort of the hell you get with Space Junk 1 skip.
I think that first one would have worked.
I think it
honestly.
would have too. I think I had enough speed.
Yeah.
I just did not like it, so I just stopped. The problem with that is you need to sort of have a feel for how much speed you have. And if you think you have enough speed but you don't make it to the planet, you fall all the way back to the start of the level. Which means you have to do the pull star path thing again. Oh my god, I'm having 2p hell now. There we go. For some reason, that's become like a difficult 2p jump for me. I used to nail those.
I guess I should mention really quickly, like, we didn't really go over this, but spinning in this game can be a little bit different whether you spin with the Wii Remote or the nunchuck. If you spin with the Wii Remote as Luigi, your spin is going to be a little bit lower than if you spin with the nunchuck. And also, holding A makes your spin go higher.
Yeah.
So if Lachurs needs a lot of height, he's going to want to make sure he holds A and spins with the nunchuck.
Yeah.
And it's actually the reverse for Mario.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Really
Nintendo's
odd.
not very consistent.
Yeah.
Alright, well, coming up is the second and final motion control level of the run, I think. Yeah.
Give me Bubble Breeze.
I wouldn't call that a motion control level. It's more of a pointer level.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, this level, because you get to stand on a ball. That's about the most interesting thing in the level. But it is one of the few levels where I do this. So I detach my 2P, because holding a 2P Wii Remote and doing motion controls can be quite awkward. And unintuitive, at least to me.
Are you doing the death warp in this level?
There's a death
Jump off
warp?
the edge? Yeah, where the death RNG manipulation where you jump off the edge.
Oh, true, yeah, I should go for that.
Yeah. So Lachurs is going to be taking in an intentional death here.
But it's not on the
Gonna
first
jump off
planet,
the
it's on the second planet here.
edge. Yeah, but first we're gonna learn how to use the ball.
So for anyone that can read Japanese, there it was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna purposely jump off the stage here. And, oh, I didn't die.
There's about 2 seconds there.
So that was intended.
Yes.
Yeah, dying loses time in this stage. There's nothing. But yeah, so you can jump off the edge of that sort of thing and like skip having to have to fall down a hole and save like 2 seconds. And it can be quite risky, especially if motion controls decide to play up, because the way you do that is just by sort of holding forward and then jumping over a certain line in the wall and then just holding straight right. But sometimes you can hold straight right and you won't go right. That was a good rolling green. And now we get to do our first Bowser stage. It's very important that I don't die in this stage, because if I die in this stage, it actually messes up the cycles.
Yeah.
And the death cycles can be pretty annoying to deal with. The fun thing about this game is also the downtime. You get like 30 seconds in between every star, at least. Yeah, that thwomp at the end there is on a cycle that if we die, we can't really do much about it. Oh no, I died.
Oh no, wait. The whole run's dead.
The whole run's dead. JK, we just skipped like 30 seconds of gameplay. It's not 30
It's
seconds.
really like 2. It's really like 2, but okay.
Yeah, so if we intentionally die there to like skip having to have to like long jump across this windy little path thing, it's kind of weird. And like death cycles are like awesome in this level. So I'm gonna go for a pretty difficult 2P strat here. Wish me luck.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the triple jump. Let's see if we get this. Oh, I didn't get the 2P jump. Alright, so what I was doing there was I was triple jumping up to Bowser. And then trying to get a 2P jump. And by doing that, you can sort of... You can't get enough height to land on his platform. But if you just get really close to landing on his platform, like you'll see here, it instantly starts the boss fight cutscene. So you just go straight to the boss fight and skip having to have to do that. And it saves about 2 to 3 seconds, I think, doing that strat over the just climbing up that way. But like you saw, it's pretty difficult, and you're triple jumping through a cutscene, and so it can be quite tedious as well.
It doesn't work with a backflip, you have to triple jump, so
Yeah.
it's a pretty difficult trick.
So now we get to fight Bowser. The Bowser fights in this game are quite something. So what you need to do is manipulate Bowser to jump on these like blue reactor things. I don't know what you call them.
Fire is,
So that was bad. What I was trying to do there, so if you long jump or if you just spin at Bowser's tail or his face, it cancels his fireballs attack there. And what I was trying to do was get underneath his chin, so that way when I did get knocked back from him, I would sort of get knocked forward and land in between his legs. I'll try and do it here. So yeah. And sort of land on this blue orb, so that when he did his like ground pound, oh, I didn't get it, he would instantly like get lit on fire. Apart from that, you just need to sort of spin his tail and hit him while he's on the ground. And that's Bowser for you. Bowser fights are pretty much like the same for every single Bowser fight in this game. Except he tries to put a spin on each of them, but like literally a spin on one of them actually.
Yeah.
And we get our second Grand Star, or third Grand Star of the game. And we get to unlock Kitchen.
Yeah, so that's the end of Fountain for now.
For now.
We'll be back a little bit later.
About 30 stars. So about now, we're like, 50, 52 minutes into the run, I guess. It's nearly an hour. And we've only got 17 stars. But this is sort of where the star speed sort of really picks up. Like we have some.
A lot of the kitchen stars are very fast.
Yeah. Like I think all three of the beach bowl, all of the beach bowl stars are like less
Under
than 2 minutes,
each,
except for beach bowl 1, and that's only because of this cutscene.
The cutscene, yeah.
Whereas like Fountain, the only stars that are sub 2 are like Rolling Green and Rolling Green barely, Sling Pod and Space Junk Comet barely. First we have to long jump over to Kitchen. Kitchen's annoying because it's in a really high spot, but if we triple jump and then spin, and then wall kick and spin, we don't have to really run around this tower, we can just go up to it. So here we have Beach Bowl 1. Now what's intended is for you to swim. What are we going to do? We're not going to swim.
Yep.
Yeah, Beach Bowl 1's supposed to be like the first stage in the run where you do a bunch of swimming. But Nintendo conveniently placed a tree in a place where it would be very easy to access the next part of the level.
Now that I think about it, I wish that tree wasn't there, so this skip would be 2P only.
True. So yeah, you can just sort of jump on that tree and do that. This is another sort of skip that's trivialized by 2P, but I can't get 2P jumps for some reason. Yeah, I can't do it. What's this problem?
Yeah.
There it is. Hello. It's always nice
Again,
when you get 2P jumps.
6-frame trick here, so it's it's a 6-frame trick, and it also relies on accurate usage of motion control.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those I like just barely miss Luigi, because you need to be like hovering over Luigi when you press A. So some 2P jumps are a lot easier than others.
Yeah.
Especially when Luigi's right up to the camera. I guess I didn't really need to grab star bits in that level. Oh well.
The interesting thing is that if you play on 3D All-Stars, where you have a button to spin, it does make 2P jumping a little bit easier, but it's also a lot more awkward to set up.
Mm.
And I guess we should mention, we're not playing on 3D All-Stars just because it's just more awkward with 2P. And
oh, also I don't own the game, so...
Yeah. Yeah, but on 3D All-Stars, you would see runners play on Korean, and that saves a good bit of time with text, and then the loads are even a tiny bit faster than Japanese Virtual Console. So.
Yeah, that's actually part of the reason you can't actually get Korean Virtual Console, but you could technically get a Korean disc and get the Korean time save from the text. But because it's not Virtual Console, you would lose time to load.
So much time on loads,
So here we
we
just beat Beach Bowl 2. It's pretty Resident Sleeper stage. You sort of just go in the water and then come back out again. The shell.
You're good on Starbits, right?
Yeah, wait, I died like how many times in Sling Pod?
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, usually if I didn't die in Sling Pod, I would be collecting like every last bit of like star bits in Beach Bowl because it has a lot of star bits. I can get about 25 per stage, and like Beach Bowl Secret, which we're about to do here, we can get like 50. So that'll round out our next 400 star bits, and we won't need to bother getting any more for the rest of this first section of Kitchen.
Yeah, so you'll see Lachurs toss out most of the star bits here because you every time if you get star bits, you have a little notification. It's like, oh, you got star bits.
Yeah. So we either try to minimize the amount of levels we get star bits in, or there was a lot of research actually put into like star bit collecting and whatnot. It was discovered that you can collect what is it? You can collect at max 18 star bits, and as long as you time your A press, you have 1 frame to do it, but if you time your A press, you lose no... I missed the shell. What am I doing?
Did you miss it though?
I missed the shell. I missed the
You
throw.
walk in there.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I was supposed to press C before I threw that, so I would get a better camera angle. Like this. Yeah, that's what we talk about with like this QF shell throws. You can be sort of in the general direction of something, but you won't throw it into that thing. So here's a skip. We skip luring a cataquack to that underneath that like question mark coin to launch us up there just by doing a triple jump. The rest of this level is pretty easy. There'll be a 2p jump at the end of it to collect the final star, and again, avoid luring a cataquack. Which is right here. Missed it. At least second try is fine. But yeah, like we were saying with the star bits, yeah, you can collect at max 18, and as long as you time your A press, 1 frame to do it, but as long as you time it, you get no time loss. I haven't sort of routed my I haven't done my like star bit routing correctly enough to sort of put that into play yet, so I sort of just minimize the amount of stages I collect star bits in. Oh, I did enter the right one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a break from beach bowl for a bit. You know, we're getting a bit bored of it. You know, it's the same sort of beach bowl every time. And we're gonna go do bubble breeze.
Yeah.
I reckon I should just still collect the star bits here anyway. It's 48, it's plenty.
Yeah, you might as well.
I might as well just skip like, I don't know, maybe Gusty Garden Secret or something.
Yeah. I guess we should mention one of the more kind of minute details that you'll see about the speedrun is every time Lachurs enters a launch star that's on the ground, what he's going to go for is called an insta-walk. Generally, when you take a launch star, Luigi, like when he lands, he goes like, yay! And you can skip that if you turn around 180 degrees with Luigi, about 6 or 7 frames before you activate the launch star.
Yeah. I did not know about this until very recently, and I've been running this game for a year now.
Yeah. That's something that was pretty recently found.
Yeah. So this second section is very difficult, taking the bubble, so instead of doing that, we're just sort of going to do this.
Yeah.
Nintendo forgot to put a wall there, so you can just sort of run on the
rocks. Yeah.
On the rocks. There's actually a 2p strat there that's slightly faster. You can do a backflip 2p jump over the wall straight into the star. But very difficult. I have not really tried to practice it because, I don't know, I'm weird.
Probably saves a quarter of a second, if that.
No, it saves 40 seconds because of the ultra shortcut.
Yep.
Okay, so we missed Beach Bowl, so we're going to go back to Beach Bowl. And now we're going to do Beach Bowl 3. Now, if you saw Beach Bowl Secret in the opening cutscene there, you may recognize what Beach Bowl 3 is. It's very popular. They actually ripped it from Super Mario Galaxy 2, if you played that game.
Yeah, this is the sequel.
Yeah, it's very strange that they would rip something from their own game. They're so lazy. Oh, I long jumped into a crate but didn't bonk, so I just sort of... Oh my god, I love ground pounding. These bats can be a nuisance sometimes. So yeah, here's a Stone Cyclone, everyone. But everything moves slowly.
Yep. Definitely need Stone Cyclone.
Oh no, I bonked. It's fine. So I missed that triple jump. It's very sad. But we'll be fine. So, instead of trying to avoid the rest of these tox boxes and thwomps, we're just going to long jump over here. and we'll kick off the final platform. And skip having to have to do the rest of the level.
Yeah. This is much more difficult than it looks. There's only a couple places on this place that works. Kind of around the back there is one that Lachurs and myself usually use.
I think we're the only two that use it.
Yeah. They don't call it the flag on Lachurs method for nothing.
I think we started calling it that. No, Toog started calling it that. Because we told him to do it because he would just sort of long jump and hope to land there.
Yeah.
So even though Beach Ball there has a comet, we're not going to play it yet because Ghostly is... I don't know the logistics behind it, but it's better to do Ghostly one now because of some comet stuff in Terrace later. And when we get back to Beach Bowl anyway, the comet will be there. So we're very lucky. This is Ghostly 1. In Ghostly 1, we're going to be saving Luigi with Luigi. Which is quite strange, but yep. It's also the first introduction of the Superstar power-up, which if I didn't bonk on the stalagmite, I would have grabbed it. And grabbing the star is like really good because it gives us a bunch of speed. We can kill that chain ball thwomp thing. Dog. I think they're dogs. And then we like carry the speed all the way into here. And as long as I don't bonk, we can get like all these star chips really quickly. And then instead of waiting for this last one to come down, I'm just going to triple jump and wall kick to get it. And hopefully get this strat. No. There's a strat there where if you can like spin correctly, you can sort of get into that launch start pretty quickly. So here you can see there's like a key on screen right here. But I don't like keys. So I'm just going to skip doing that by just clipping into the bottom of the mansion here. And that skipped having to have to open the door and doing an entire section there where you have to move around with the boo mushroom.
Yeah, so the mansion here doesn't really have collision from underneath. So, it's just something that we can skip pretty easily.
Yeah. And now we get to see Luigi talking to Luigi. One thing that I find funny in this game is that to talk to things, Luigi pretty much has to be right up in their face, or else you won't really be talking to them.
Yeah.
So like there with Luigi, I was pretty much just standing on his toes while he was talking to me about saving him. And you'll probably see it again like right here. We have to talk to Luigi here. So now we're going to be feeding our second Hungry Luma of the run. And this will be unlocking the stage Sweet Sweet. And the reason we talk to Luigi at the same time as opening Sweet Sweet is because of a thing known as launch star lag. So whenever you spawn a launch star in this game, it takes a couple seconds for the launch star to actually become active. So in that time, we'll feed this Luma and prematurely long jump away. Because it's still going to take a couple seconds for the launch star to spawn. So we're better off in that time going and talking to Luigi and then coming back to the launch star when it's going to be active. Even though this takes more than a couple seconds, it still saves time overall. And also, fun fact about those text box, it's the only time in the game where the Japanese text is longer than the English text. And that's because English only has 2 text boxes rather than 3. And now we go into Sweet Sweet, also known as Long Jump Simulator.
Yep.
Yeah, Sweet Sweet's probably in a casual playthrough is pretty difficult, but in a speedrun we just sort of do some long jumps, and the cycle's always the same when we get here, so I sort of know the path to take. And if not, it's pretty easy to improv. I've done it plenty of times. Oh, I guess I'm gonna bonk there actually and get a bad angle. It's like here. Even though I bonked, I knew what cycle I was gonna get anyway. The thing about this stage, a lot of people don't know, is that this entire like cookie dough part that I'm running on is one giant revolving circle that you can't see. So if I was bad at the game, you would probably be able to see like the cycle reiterate itself. In that big chocolate sphere circle. So Flagleman, remember how we really enjoyed Beach Ball 3 and we really enjoyed Stone Cyclone?
Cyclone Stone, yeah.
Cyclone Stone?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's do it again.
Well, not yet.
Oh wait, yeah, true. First we've got to do Terrace again. True. God. I don't remember the route. Yeah, so we have to go do probably the fastest star in the game. Good Egg Luigi now. In the previous route, this star used to be the only like star that was less than a minute. But because it's now become the first star we do in Terrace 2, it's now over a minute. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. I messed up the movement. I forgot to long jump straight away. Tim Schafer next, Rob. Rightio. But overall, this Terrace 2 is a pretty quick stage, so it's not going to be very long that we're here. We still have to do one more star, Honey Hive Comet, and then we're off. The reason we don't do Good Egg Comet, for example, as well in this run, even though it's a speedrun comet, as we as we know, speedrun comets are not fast, and it's just a repeat of Good Egg 1, which, as we remember, is not a very short stage.
So in this level, we're gonna actually be able to go for a startup boost here. If you hold Z and then press A within a 5-frame window on the go, you'll be able to get a.
Oh, I got a frame perfect jump! Haha.
Nice. Did we talk about frame perfect jumps?
No, we haven't.
Okay, so at the beginning of every level, similar to a launch star, Luigi will kind of go have a landing animation, and if you press A on the frame that you land, you get a jump that'll skip that. So basically, every level has a 0.3 or 0.4 second time save that's about 1 frame, or that's 1 frame to hit. Some levels you can't do it, and like Good Egg is one in particular that you can't jump.
Because you're landing like on a slope, so it's weird.
Again, another abusive backwards momentum you saw there, just to fall down to that ending part where the star is.
There's a harder version of that strat which gets you closer to the star, or pretty much on top of the star, but it's extremely hard. Like I remember an old runner of this game, Diamentos, like tried it for like 8 hours and only got it twice.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's basically all we have left in the Terrace. The only thing left to do in main game would be Good Egg Comet, but again, we can't.
It's kind of fitting, though, because the first and last star of the run is in Terrace.
Yeah.
That's a lie. The first and last star are in Gateway.
Gateway and Terrace.
No, Gateway and Bowser 3.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so as we were joking before, we really enjoyed the Cyclone Stone, so we're gonna do it again. Honestly, not much to say about this. It's very similar to how we did it previously, and like when we first came here. The only difference being that this starting cycle is slightly different to the one we had in Beach Ball 3. So I can't actually triple jump on top of that Tox box. I just have to long jump around and like that. And also that nice red platform is there, so I can just long jump straight to that next part. And there we go. That's Beach Ball done. No more Beach Ball for the rest of the run. And now we get to finish up Ghostly as well. So, up until now, we've been 1 star ahead of the old route. But this is where the 2 routes sort of converge when it comes to star count and level, like, base to like level ratio. It's, I guess what I'm saying is weird, but we leave We leave Fountain with 17 stars, but in the odd route we would leave with 18. But we get to do Ghostly 2. Now, apparently it's slightly faster to do Ghostly 2 before you do Ghostly Secret, but it's a lot more risky as well.
Yeah.
We'll explain why.
Yeah. The one thing we haven't gone over is that on the star select screen, you never actually see Lachurs like point at the star and pick it, and that's because if you point away from the screen, it will select the next clear star, so whichever one you haven't done. If Lachurs were to do Ghostly 2 first, the next clear star when he's selecting Ghostly Secret would be Ghostly 3, which is a pretty slow star.
And you can't access Ghostly Secret through Ghostly 3.
Yeah.
So you would have to...
careful.
Yeah, you'd have to watch the entire intro cutscene for Ghostly 3, as well as exiting the stage.
Yeah.
So it is important that I do focus on... It's not massively bad, like I'm pretty consistent in not messing it up, but it is important that I focus on them.
Yeah.
The first example of actually that happening was in Good Egg Dare, where we got Luigi. Technically, you can get Luigi in Good Egg 3, but we would have to watch the entirety of the intro cutscene, so it would have been slower. Whereas if you were doing 1P route, then you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ghostly 2 is a pretty easy stage. It's just racing this ghost, and he's a pretty easy ghost to beat. His name is actually Ghost TSR. Getting a 43.58 is pretty alright. My PB in that race is a 42.25, I think. Which just so happens to be my gold. And now, welcome the most awkward star grab in the game.
Yeah. The camera turns here.
It's so weird. Alright, here comes the bane of my existence in this game, Ghostly Secret. I'm gonna go for a strat that I always go for. It's difficult, but it saves time, and it looks cool, so I'm gonna try and hit it. It's called Not Entering Ghostly 3, Kipo TFTF. We did it. JK. Yeah, coming up. So, in this level, there's like this auto-scrolling section, where like the level sort of produces itself as we get higher, as the level progresses. So you can see that platform started moving there. But we're going to skip doing that and go for a strat called keyless. So usually you would have to grab 3 keys. Or, well, at least. You'd have to grab like 2 or 3 keys just to grab the star. But we can just sort of do this. And get up to the final
doors. There are a couple of doors that you would see here if you move the thing up, but they still have collision, even though they're not on screen. But the tops of the doors have very, very narrow platforms that you can land on.
I'm actually surprised I was able to jump off the top of that door frame there like that. It was very strange how I was going there.
So you gotta land on the little door frame.
That strat is a lot harder 1P. You can do keyless 1P. It's a lot harder though, because you have to get up on 2 doors. Whereas with 2P, you can just sort of go up to 1 door and then jump off the top of it. Like that. Yeah. And it also makes that final jump a lot easier. I used to not do a second 2P jump there, but I adopted it and it's become a lot easier. I'm glad I made it through that with only 1 missed 2P jump as well. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So coming up here, Airship Armada. One thing I didn't know about until very recently is with cannons, if you hold Z while in the cannon, you're sort of zoomed out a bunch. So you don't have to sort of wait for the camera to pan over there. Also, you didn't see it, but I just skipped an entire airship.
Yeah. You're supposed to kind of shoot straight ahead of you, but just go to the left here.
You may be wondering, why did I grab that 1-up? It loses time. The reason I grabbed that 1-up is because later in the run, there's a level, Bowser 2. Oh, I guess I'm gonna go into the Sling Star. Triple jump up. There's a level Bowser 2 where there's like a bunch of 1-ups in your way, and that level's very difficult, and if you do accidentally hit one of those 1-ups while still having the text box active, I guess you call it, it can be very difficult to, like, it can put you off. Oh, that's very nice of the bullet bills. So yeah.
The bullet bills in this kind of all hit each other. And
Oh my god, he didn't kill. Oh my god, what is... Bowser Jr., where are you? What? He's... What? Hold on, what? Bowser Jr.'s airship was going the wrong way. Hold on. No. Wait. So, okay, let me explain. So in that fight, there's 2 phases. You have the first phase where you have to throw 3 shells into him, and then the second phase where you only have to throw 2. And usually what ends up happening is when I go into the second phase, he will start going left. Like, that's the first thing he does. But he went right, which has never happened to me before.
it's never happened before.
Never happened before. Had to happen. Has to be once.
Never seen before footage.
Never seen before. Alright, so now, before we get to go to the bedroom, which is my favourite place, because it's comfy, beds are comfy, we get to go do some more Fountain stuff. It's our second and final visit to Fountain. But first we have to talk to Toad. Also we have to talk to Rosalina, who for some reason, instead of talking about the recent opening of the bedroom, would rather talk about the top of this observatory.
Yeah.
But as you notice there, if you caught a quick glimpse of that like screenshot, we're going back to Battle Rock 1 to go save Luigi.
Yeah. It's really important that Lachurs gets the letter here, because otherwise, if we get all the way to the end and try to find Luigi, he won't be there. So, I guess he has to let us know that he's lost.
But before we do that again, we have to go do Hurry Scurry. The reason we're doing Hurry Scurry first is because in Battle Rock Luigi, which is the next star, it's a green star, and we get sent all the way back to the start of the observatory and get a cutscene telling us about green stars and whatnot. So it ends up being quite a lot faster to grab Hurry Scurry first and then Battle Rock Luigi. But you may be wondering, why are we grabbing Battle Rock Luigi when Battle Rock 1 was a slow auto-scroller? It's because Honey Hive Luigi, which can only be unlocked from beating Battle Rock Luigi, is quite a fast star as well. So it ends up being faster overall to grab the 3 Luigi stars. But once again, Hurry Scurry is not a difficult stage. You just sort of collect some music notes and do a ground pound in the end. Pretty easy. One thing I didn't mention before, actually, when going to Fountain, instead of taking that, like, weird-looking little teleporter thing, I actually preferred to triple jump up to the platform that the Fountain's on. Overall, I think that saves about a second over. Let me think. So here's a level where it's important that I select the first star and only the first star. I did it. And we get to sit through this entire auto-scroller again, but first we gotta do a triple jump. That should work? Yeah, just. And I guess we have a bit of time for some donations as well, if we have any.
Absolutely, yeah. I can just go through the couple of incentives that are coming up that will be closing off soon. You've still got a bit of time to get in for, but we got the Whack-A-Mole mini game in Smile for me at $61 out of 400, and then the one that's very close to getting met is the Banjo-Kazooie Glitch Exhibition, which is a Taz video, and that's sitting at about $671 out of 750. So if you want to get donations in for either of those, they're very close to being met, especially the Banjo-Kazooie one. And I might just quickly plug what we're doing here. We're Oz Speedruns, and we do speedrun events to raise money for charity. For ASM 2021, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity promoting good mental health through raising the awareness and reducing the stigma around these issues. If you'd like to donate, the link to do so is donate.ozspeedruns.com or !donate in chat. And back to you.
Perfect. Yeah. So what's different between this level and Battle Rock 1 is instead of getting the star on the top, we go to the underside. Oh, that was quick. That was cool. I've never... Whoa! I went straight to the underside. Usually I would spawn the bullet bill from the top and then go to the underside. Yeah, we go to the bottom. We step on Luigi's toes for a bit, and he tells us about a star he found, but accidentally somehow got trapped inside a glass orb, I guess you call it. I don't know the lore about Luigi stars. All I know is that he gives me stars and they're fast. Yeah, it's like I said, we get taken straight back to the start of the observatory, so whatnot. It would be nice if it didn't take us to the start of the observatory and we could just sort of jump over to bedroom from fountain, but unfortunately it's not to be. But now we get to go to bedroom, and I am gonna mess up movement. For some reason, in this game, observatory... Oh my god, Luigi. This is not usually this difficult. Observatory movement is like really awkward sometimes. That's the worst observatory movement because, like you saw there, if you fall off that like rotating beam, you go straight, like you go straight back to like the very start again. It's really annoying. Yeah, we've entered bedroom. Bedroom is kind of what I would call like the resident sleeper part of the run. It's not very compelling. Like, there's no really awesome strats that happen. It's just sort of something we have to go through. It's like a bit of a slog sometimes. But it's not something to be forgotten, though, because it's like all these stages can be difficult in their own way. But first, let's go catch a penguin. I guess we can talk about ice mechanics, actually.
Yeah, so when we're skating on ice, we want to be in the skating state. If you don't shake, Luigi just kind of slips around on the ice. And it's pretty slow walking speed, but we can shake. And long jumping's pretty fast. If you repeatedly do double jumps, like frame perfectly, it's a little bit faster, but it's only really viable for tasks.
What? Okay. Oh. I don't know what happened there, but usually when you long jump and then spin into that wall, you can get a wall kick, but for some reason I was not getting the wall kick. So here I'm using a bit of...
earlier today. There's a little crease where you just can't wall kick.
Oh, really? So here, we can skip pretty much having to have to worry about those cycles by, like, getting on top of that question mark block and just long jumping over to the sling star. We get to fight Baron Burr, or as most of the SMG community likes to call him, Baron Brett. He's pretty easy. Not really much we can say about him. You just sort of backflip, and you're supposed to hit him when you land on the ground, but I can be bad at the game sometimes, so I don't do that. But yeah. It's kind of strange, this fight, though, because sometimes you'll, like, hit him, but it won't make the noise that you've hit someone, or hit something. So you'll be like, did I hit him? Did I not? But most times you hit him. Alrighty. Alright, so next we get to do Freeze Flame 2. So, if you thought... So, Freeze Flame 1 is the freeze of the Freeze Flame. You can kind of guess what Freeze Flame 2 is going to be. Should I go for lava boost?
Sure. Let's
Sure.
do it. Why not?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for a strat.
So, I guess the first thing to explain is the star chips on this first planet. When Lachurs breaks one of these crystals while he's skating, he's going to hold neutral on the control stick, and that'll just kind of stop him in place because the star chips aren't able to be grabbed. So he'll stop in place for a brief moment until the star chip can be grabbed and then skate through them. If you just keep holding, he'll just kind of spin around.
Oh, I missed the star chip. The last one I don't actually hold neutral on because it's easier to sort of cancel your skating state and then restart your skating state to long jump into that launch star. A minor optimization you can do there is to stay in a skating skate and do like a C camera change, but it's weird. So what you'll be seeing me do here is grabbing this, I guess you can call it this awesome mushroom, because it makes Luigi awesome with 6 health. And I'm gonna focus on this. No, that was bad.
Yeah, so-
Alright, I can't go for any more. Cringe. So I'll just go for the other strat you can do, which is miles easier, but doesn't save as much time. So yeah, what I was trying to do there, I guess I can explain it, is there's like a small part of that like lava wall that you saw me long jump into that is like a wall, and whenever Luigi hits lava, he gets a bounce in the direction of the lava's facing. So we aim for that tiny little bit of that like hill that's a wall, and Luigi will bounce in the direction that the wall is facing, which will give us a whole heap of speed. So we can, and what we do is we keep that speed and we can lava boost all the way over that final section rather than just going to that other section and whatnot. Oh yeah, by the way, that's a level.
Yeah. What Lachurs did instead is a gravity abuse where you just kind of long jump and then the gravity will flip you and you can stand on the other side,
Yeah.
skip sliding a couple of torches.
The intended method for that level is to like grab fire flowers and spawn like sling stars and launch stars and whatnot by lighting torches like we did at the end there. But by abusing gravity, we can just skip all of that. And at that end there, we can abuse the fact that while throwing fire, you can gain like almost infinite height. So we use that. Here we're heading into Gusty Garden. So I'm going to be doing a slight optimization, which is called spin cancelling. So by spinning on the ground and then either jumping or long jumping out of a spin, you pretty much, you cancel the spin. Oh, I hate that. We're going to redo that. Alright, I'm going to avoid that question mark ring. For some reason, that's the only question mark ring in the game that if you spawn it, it spawns like a bunch of star bits. Oh, that's so amazing. We get like a heap of star bits. But it creates so much lag that the time, like the efficiency of grabbing the star bits, at least in any percent, is just outweighed by that lag.
Yeah. Quick little platform skip here. Kind of supposed to go around to most of these planets, but you can just get to the last one.
So here's an awesome 2P strat that I love. By doing a backflip and 2P holding that piranha plant, you can sort of jump on his head while he hasn't even fallen yet, which is like insane optimization that I would never have thought of myself.
Yeah, and 1P can't do that
Yeah.
because if he's not stunned, he's not hittable.
So this is the one bunny in the game, like that everyone can do well, because all you have to do is long jump, and you catch him.
If you miss this catch, it's pretty annoying to back up, but
But it's also a lot easier than
pretty
other bunnies, because the bunny for some reason like pauses when the slope changes. So yeah, bedroom is sort of the introduction to the do-si-do, I guess you can call it, star collection route. In very old routes, like Pushback 1.0, we would collect all of the stars in Gusty Garden and then all of the stars in Free Flame, like one after the other. But it was discovered it was slightly faster to switch in between the two like this. So that way, you collect like 1 star from Freeze Flame, 1 star from Gusty Garden, over and over again, until you've got all the stars you need.
And the reason for that is because when the stars are spawning in, like it has to show you all of the previous ones. So ideally, if you do a comet, when you do the comets only
Or a
show
secret.
that 1 star. Well, the comet only shows that 1 option. If you're doing a
Yeah.
comet, you only get the 1 option. But when it's the things are flying in, you have to see all of the stars you've already done. So
Yeah.
if you do a comet or a secret early, then you have to see an extra star every time.
Yeah. So in the old route, we would do Gusty Garden, like all of Gusty Garden first, and that would usually be fine. But then when you got to Freeze Flame, you would do Freeze Flame 1 and then immediately follow it up with Freeze Flame Comet. So for the next 3 stars, you would have to watch the... granted, it is a small time save, but you would have to watch the Freeze Flame Comet star also appear on screen, which is kind of annoying. So, Freeze Flame 1 was the freeze of Freeze Flame, Freeze Flame 2 was the flame of Freeze Flame, and Freeze Flame 3 is the Freeze Flame of Freeze Flame. So in this level, we actually use both power-ups that were introduced to us, both the Ice and the Fire Flower. I guess you really can't say introduced because Ice Flower was introduced in Beach Ball Secret, but we kind of forgot about that. That was a pretty good Freeze Flame 3. And now we get to go back to Gusty Garden. Do Gusty Garden 2. Now, if we could bring in special guests, we could bring in Toogs to explain something, but we can have Flygon explain mole cycles, I guess.
Alright, so I think earlier we had mentioned that enemies and a lot of things in this game only move when they're on screen. So this is really going to be an important factor here, because there are going to be 3 moles on this question mark planet that only move when Lachurs puts them on screen. So he's going to try to move the camera in a very specific way that these moles only come on screen at very certain times. The nice thing about this is that because Lachurs is using 2P, he can stun the moles just by holding them with the 2P remote.
Yeah.
1Q doesn't really have that luxury, but if
most of the time though, the mole cycles sort of line up. Like, yeah, actually let me focus quickly so I think I can get a good one. I think I'm good. Yeah. Okay, so even though I didn't get any moles on screen when I did that, I didn't get the mole on screen either. Oh, it's annoying. Okay. Oh god, I'm gonna ground pound on top of him.
Ground pound on top because he'll hit you.
If I do that, and then he should be coming up from this way. No, over here. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of awkward. See, I had to readjust myself because the idea is that when you're landing on that planet, you want to sort of have the top of the tip there sort of appear on screen, and see that mole going around the top. But unfortunately, I didn't do the camera, like manipulate the camera enough to be able to get that, so I had to readjust myself. But apart from the mole cycles, we get this unnecessary apple planet, which I don't understand why it's in Gusty Garden 3. It doesn't make any sense in the grand context of the level. And you saw there was that like massive ring there. I never landed on that ring ever.
Yeah.
Nintendo sort of just added it in. Just put it in there.
You get more star bits there.
You get more star bits, and I think there's like like the 3-up awesome Mario mushroom there.
Yeah. It does look like on the apple planet that you could just jump between the apples, but unfortunately they have invisible walls that are locked behind the stumps.
Yeah. I did not know that, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Hello. Bad RNG. Yeah, so we get to fight Major Burrows. He's can be annoying, can be not. by annoying, I mean depending on where he likes to spawn. So I got 2 really bad positions for him to spawn. Preferably, I'd like him to spawn up near that tree you see there on screen. But because you can like run up and get him out of his hole really quickly that way. And he runs straight into the tree as well, stalling him. But unfortunately, we didn't quite get that, so we had to sort of just deal with the RNG we got. And then we throw star bits into his butt, and that slows him down, so he doesn't run away. Coming up, Freeze Flame Secret. This star's short, but it can be a devil of a star to do sometimes. Isn't that right?
Yes.
I need confirmation. I don't want to be the only person that struggles with Freeze Flame Secret.
It's a pain. Because you can go for some 2P stuff here that, you know, if you missed your 2P jump, it can be a pain.
There's a strat.
So again, we have to catch the penguin here.
Catch the penguin. Let's play Catch the Penguin. Said the penguin to Luigi, after he realized that Luigi was much faster than him. This penguin doesn't learn. He should just give us the launch star straight away, rather than make us catch him. So here I'm going to actually collect star bits, that's right.
There's a good amount of star bits on this level in some of the snowmen. Right here, you're going to see Lachurs go for some angled wall kicks.
Actually, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, I haven't been getting them consistently, so I'd rather just do that. But yeah, you can do some angled wall kicks up the corner there. Slightly faster than backflipping and doing what I did there. Conveniently, there's a gap in between those 2 crystals that you can just long jump through.
Yeah.
And grab the fire flower. So what I'm going to do is another sort of spin cancel you'll see here. By jumping, I can sort of stop Luigi from standing still there after throwing a fireball. And get him to just start moving instantly. Okay. So here okay, backflips are not happening. Here oh my god, I can't even do it. Okay, let me do it before I actually explain what I'm doing. So there you're supposed to like grab a fire flower and like break the snowman and it'll reveal like another sling star. But instead you can sort of just backflip on top of his hat and then backflip off his hat up to there. And saves a couple seconds because the fire flower is just close by as well. So now we actually finally get to do Freeze Flame Comet, which is a fun stage. It's a repeat of Freeze Flame 3's like ice skating, ice flower section.
But this time it's all ice.
Yeah, this time it's all ice, and we're racing a Cosmic Luigi.
This is the one level where frame perfect jump saves like 1 to 2 seconds because you can frame perfect jump right into the cutscene where Cosmic Luigi shows up.
The only other one I can think of is Seaslide Comet. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not get the frame perfect jump, which is sad. So I backflipped. So there I was trying to do the like the silly speed trick. But unfortunately I backflipped. That's a common issue with this game actually. Is sometimes you'll go for a long jump and you'll just backflip.
Yeah, you have to have a good amount of speed to get a long jump.
It's become sort of a meme at this point to just say backflip reset kappa every time you backflip instead of long jump. But nobody ever says long jump instead of backflip.
Yeah. Which you can actually do.
Yeah, I've done it plenty of times. Actually, there's a stage coming up where you can do it by accident. Gusty Garden Secret. But first we're going to do Gusty Garden 3. Gusty Garden 3 is a weird stage. it's just a conglomerate of a bunch of different ideas Nintendo had. I guess you can call it. It's one of those stages that doesn't really stick out in my mind as a memorable stage. Even though everyone loves the Gusty Garden music, I don't think Gusty Garden's a very good galaxy. Might be controversial, but... the stages are just kind of all over the place. The only one I like is Gusty Garden 1.
I don't like any of them.
Oh. Here we get to skip the bottom planet and spawning a vine, which would lose time because we would have to ride the vine up. And we get to go straight towards the piranha as well. So if you see that yellow, like, unchained dog chomp, that has a star in it. But unchained dog chomp.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't have a star, so we couldn't grab it. Okay, that was very quick star chip movement. Let's go. And we didn't grab a coin either. Every time we grab a coin in this game, in a level, we have to watch like a cutscene or a notification say that we got a coin. It's kind of annoying. So every time you do a level coinless, it's very nice. And basically, we're going to change the gravity bunch. Psych, we're not. Yeah, we're just going to skip over the rest of this area by doing that. And that's actually a pretty easy long jump. Anyone can do it with Luigi if you know how to nunchuck spin. Yeah. Nunchuck spin and, you know, long jump close to an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty good Gusty Garden 3. Might have even been a gold if I was actually having my splits open. So remember fighting Major Burrows?
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
With only one health.
With only one health.
You can't mess up.
Yeah, this game has 4 different types of comets. So it has your speedrun comets, your cosmic clone comets, and this is the 3rd type of comet, which is Daredevil comets, which is they pit you either in a boss fight or in Melty Molten's case, the entirety of Melty Molten 1 with 1 health. And you have to do the whole level with 1 health, of course. And then the 4th type of comet is, we've already seen it, is the Speedster comets, where like the enemies in the level move much faster than they usually do. I think there's only 2 of them in the entire run.
Yeah, Speedball and Toy Time.
They can probably be the worst of the comets, honestly. Like, these Daredevil comets, at least in 80%, are pretty easy. Like, this one's really easy. Also, we got good RNG. Major Burrows spawned up near the tree. That rhymed! Oh my god. Oh, he did it again. How good. And just like it is, we get to do Gusty Garden Secret. So in an ideal world, we would have liked to have done Gusty Garden Secret before the Comet. But no matter what routing you do, you're always going to have the Comet before at least 1 star in either Freeze Flame or Gusty Garden.
Yeah.
So it ends up just being better to do the Comet after Gusty Garden Secret after Gusty Garden Comet.
That's because we need enough stars to open Honey Climb Galaxy, which is 42 stars, I believe.
No, yeah, 42.
Yeah.
And Honey Climb's a very fast star with a lot of star bits, so we would really enjoy doing that stage.
And we won't be seeing any Dusty Dune Galaxy, unfortunately. The first level's just pretty long.
Just like Battle Belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Battle Rock... Yeah, we do Battle Belt in this run, actually. We open up SMG2 just to do Battle Belt. So yeah. Here I have to collect all these, like, question mark rings. And by doing that, we actually get access to the star. I'm going to throw away all these star bits as well. I'm way ahead of star bits, I don't need this many. think if we're on the right speed, yeah, we should just be able to run like that.
Yeah, so unfortunately you can't just, break the golden chomp with 2P or anything. You have to use this rainbow star here.
The only way you can break boulders with 2P is if there's two of them on the same track and they both run into each other.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good Gusty Garden secret. It was really good, actually. And now we get to do Honey Climb. So this strat here in Honey Climb, I guess I'll let Flygon Man explain because I do need to sort of not focus, but be a little more wary of where I'm going.
Yeah, so in Honey Climb, there's kind of two states that you can be if you're not on like a specific honeycomb piece. You can either be flying kind of close to them or kind of out away from them. And if you spin kind of in between those two states, if you're pretty close to the honeycomb, you can get a massive boost upwards. And you'll see Lachurs go for it here. Let's see if he can get one. Yes.
So I got that one.
Yeah, so he jumps and he spins with the nunchuck as soon as he possibly can. And it'll let him fly up really high.
One more key thing as well is that when you're doing that, you want to be holding neutral as well on the Wii Remote, on your control stick. Just because, for some reason at least, if you're holding a direction... Oh, I died!
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. This section here, we don't do the strat because we're going horizontal.
Yeah.
So going up really fast doesn't really do much for us.
Yeah.
But dying there's kind of silly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a silly death. As you can see, like there's a lot of star bits in this level. It's very good that we do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Creepy Gar actually figured out there's 197 star bits in this level.
Yeah. And with 2P, we can make sure we grab as many of those as we can. Because we are saving up for Drip Drop Galaxy, which we're going to do as one of the last stars in the run.
Oh, I spun before I jumped. There we go. So that's Honey Climb, and now we get to do Bowser 2. This is a very difficult level, so I am going to try and focus really hard to do this. It's very cycle based. If I make like any minor error, I could die. If I make any minor error, I could get a bad cycle and then die. It's just a very difficult level all round, but I should be pretty good. So, yeah. I'll tell you like once I get past the hard parts, and then we'll explain like the different skips and strats and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. The gravity here is pretty weird to deal with.
Mm.
And I guess I'll mention right before Lachurs gets into this is the one level where you don't want to go for a frame perfect jump.
No. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, that starting section there, you can get a weird, like, thing. Oh, I don't know anything about it. Also, the sun's coming up. That's nice. Okay, please shut up, Lachurs. Okay, we're good.
And so what you saw is that Lachurs went for a trick that we call plus skip. There's this plus platform, and you can just completely skip. It's with these moving gravity spots. It's a pretty weird trick to pull off.
Okay. That ending.
He's grounded 2P jump, man. Oh my god. Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Yeah, there was
So
no.
yeah, he went for a trick called plus skip, and you just kind of go through the gravity holding upright, and it's a pretty weird skip to do.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you can't just do and think like, oh, I could do it. It's just a long jump and a spin, because you really need to understand the gravity as well. Also, this boss fight is pretty weird sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, I got hit. Oh, silly boy.
He does these like dark spins. I
Oh
think
my
is what they're
god, did I really just do that? How
actually.
did that
You
work?
can't-
Okay, what? I ran to grab a coin and he landed on a blue thing. Sorry.
Ow. But yeah, you can cancel these spins with these dark spins from Bowser with your own spins, and you'll see Lachurs employ some spin cancel jumps.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Oh, there's a fireball there. It's kind of weird because because he spins at you too quickly for you to just stand there and do spins at him. So you do have to do spin cancel. So you spin the first one, spin cancel the second one, do another spin midair, and then on the last one you just sort of spam shake. But I'm too inconsistent at the spam shake to get it, so I always just wait when he's doing the 3 spins. And that's where we mentioned he literally puts a spin on
Yeah.
the boss fight.
And that's the end of bedroom.
That is the end of bedroom. And now we get to go to the engine room, which is probably one of the hardest sections of the run.
Yeah.
Kind of annoying considering we're almost 2 hours into the run now.
You want to fit in a couple donations here? Because we have a cutscene.
Yeah, we got a pretty long cutscene, so if we have a donation.
Sure. I might just remind people of those incentives that are coming up. We got that Whack-A-Mole mini game in Smile for me. That's still sitting at 61 out of 400. And then we got the Banjo-Kazooie Glitch Exhibition, which is a Taz video, sitting at 671 out of 750. So quite close to reaching that. So if you want to see either of those, mate, get your donations in. And just a quick spiel on saying that we're Oz Speedruns and we do speedrun events to raise money for charity. For ASM 2021, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity promoting good mental health through raising the awareness and reducing the stigma around these issues. If you'd like to donate, the link to do so is donate.ozspeedruns.com or !donate in chat. If you want to check out the full list of incentives, you can also go to incentives.ozspeedruns.com. Back to you.
Alright, just in time for me to do a strat, which I messed up. Yeah, so really fast observatory movement there. If you do a backflip homing ground pound onto that one luma there with that angle, you can do what is known as double luma bounce, which gives you like a heap of speed. Whenever you do like a homing ground pound, you get like a bunch of speed off of the thing. And by chaining 2 bounces off 2 lumas, you can get up to the like platform that gets you up to engine room really quickly. But I messed up the angle, so I didn't really go towards the other luma.
He's
We're good?
working on it right now.
I'm just gonna wait the bunny.
Yep, we're good now. You
We're
can
good?
go.
All right, go for it.
So for anyone that struggled with that bunny casually, there it is.
Just stand on that little line and the bunny just runs towards you for some reason.
We have no clue why that happens, but it only works if you jump spin there. You can't just run to the line.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we just sort of collected some blue chips.
Yeah.
So coming up, we have a notorious level for 2P, Gold Leaf 2. I'm definitely gonna go for the strat, by the way.
All right.
Not crump, not the crump, but the stump.
Okay. Yeah.
So Gold Leaf 2 is a very strange level. It's actually quite a difficult level to do fast. But it looks sick when you do it fast, so...
Mm-hmm. A lot of 2P jumps and precise, if you're 1P, precise jumps to
Well, actually,
through here.
I lied about the Battle Rock 1 thing. This is actually the second level where the 1P strat's my preferred strat. Also, bonking into the wall is not my preferred strat. So ideally, you would want to get the Cataquack lined up so that he, like, launches you up to the launch star, but I can't seem to do that correctly, so I just do a backflip 2P. Like, backflip spins and whatnot.
Fall off the edge there.
Or fall off the
Close.
edge, almost.
Yeah.
Oh my god, really? That's really annoying that happened. Oh, I hope I can get a good angle still. Okay, I did.
Yeah, the
So-
gravity between those two is annoying.
Yeah. So, for some reason, Nintendo decided... So, these Cataquacks, they have a specific height they launch you at. But that height is just barely high enough for Luigi to do, like, a triple jump there. To get up to that, thing. Pretty much skipping the entirety of that,
The huge
Oh,
planet.
oh, far! Let's go! So, yeah.
Yeah, so the trick we were talking about is called stump jump because you do a double jump on that stump, and you just 2P jump and get onto that flower. The flower will go away, like kind of despawn if you don't have the B power up, but you just jump really quickly and grab the star.
Yeah, for some reason Nintendo put an oversight and they made it so that there's like, I think it's 4 frames. I think it's a 4-frame window to jump off of that flower.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird because it doesn't feel like a 4-frame window because you can sort of like buffer the jump in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Gold Leaf 3. This is that was Gold Leaf 2. Sorry, this is Gold Leaf 3. Another level where we're pretty much going to skip the intended route by just coming to this tree and doing this. Oh, this is weird. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, the camera kind of went weirdly there.
I like the
Camera usually-
I like the camera better in this level than I do in other levels.
the
But yeah,
comment.
you can just sort of skip doing all this stuff. You're supposed to be using the B power up in this level, but
Mhm.
and riding those like rain clouds, but Luigi's just too good. Oh, I missed it. Luigi's just too good at what he does, so he doesn't need that.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I was trying to do there was a cutscene skip. So by sort of climbing up on that ledge there and doing a precise set of movements and whatnot, you can sort of skip having to have to do the... Oh, that's not good. Okay, we're good. You can sort of skip having to have to watch the cutscene, the intro cutscene of the, like, the gunner mole. But not only that, but he sort of just doesn't work. Like, he won't spin to face you, he won't shoot bubbles, it just becomes free, the fight.
Yeah.
It just stops working. So it's very strange, and the way you do that is by like landing on the specific part of that like fence, and then just running around until you skip the cutscene trigger. So similar to bedroom, we're actually doing the do-si-do again, where we're like switching in between different galaxies to manipulate comets' spawn cycles. This is Toy Time 1. It's an infamous level in any percent. Probably one of, if not the worst. Behind like Honey Hive 1.
Yeah, this is a pretty hard level. There's a lot of
awkward movement.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're 2P, awkward 2P jumps. But the good thing about Toy Time 1 is there is 92, I think, or 94 star bits in it. So it's very important that we collect a lot of star bits here. But yeah, there's a lot of gravity skips in this level. The gravity's kind of weird.
Like purple panels try to make you stick to them, but you can kind of abuse that.
I didn't get a bonk from the mecha, whatever that is. Yeah, so the intended method for this section here is to use the spring power-up, spring mushroom. But you can just sort of backflip wall kick up this section. I don't think Nintendo intended for you to do this. But I guess they just reused stuff that they'd already used and forgot to remove wall kick collision. Here again, you're supposed to use spring mushroom, but you can just backflip up here.
Yeah. 2P really just completely obsoletes the spring mushroom power-up in this game, and it's really awkward to use anyway.
Except for
stuff that's not in this run.
Except for Matter Splatter, which is fortunately not in this run. Oh yeah, true. Oh, I messed it up. Nice. Should be fine though.
So what Lachurs is going for here, I like to call it Mecha Bowser Climb. Some people call it Armpit Skip.
And the armpit skip is in chat.
Go in between the body, I guess, and the arm, and just kind of wall jump straight up here.
I did it, Flygo Man. I did a long jump instead of a backflip.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so that skips kind of doing some screws, using the spring power up, a lot of different things.
Yeah, it saves quite a lot of time doing that armpit skip. And honestly is not a hard skip. The camera can be quite awkward, but if you learn to sort of manipulate, like how to go around the camera, you can do pretty fine. That ending movement there, we did two consecutive like 2P jumps there. That movement is slightly faster than the 1P movement, and it avoids like a weird electric zappy dude that can be really annoying. So we were explaining the do-si-do earlier, and we were saying that we ideally want to be getting the comet as the last star in a galaxy. But for some reason, we're getting the comet as the second last one in Gold Leaf.
Yeah, so the reason for that is that engine room, like all of the domes except for Terrace spawn comets on stars that would be like an odd star. So if you're collecting a star that would be an odd number, then a comet will spawn in that dome. And it just works out that we need to have one extra, so we just leave Gold Leaf S for the end.
Oh yeah. So Gold Leaf Comet's a very difficult stage, actually. You can lose a lot of time if you mess it up. But I think I've got it. Yeah, we're good. It happened again though. We didn't get the silly boost. I haven't gotten a single silly boost this run. We're 0-3 for silly boosts.
Yeah.
Well, actually, 1-3 for backflips instead of silly boosts. 3-3 for crouches. But now we sort of get to relax for a bit, and we get to do Sea Slide 1. Which, if you've ever played the game and gotten this far, Sea Slide 1 is, well, to put it short, is an auto-scroller.
Yeah.
Although, there was a recent optimization found because I kept pestering people about the fact that for some reason my gold was just incredibly good compared to everyone else's, except for like 2 people. And the recent discovery was that previously it was thought that it was faster, or it is still technically faster, but it was thought that in every case it was faster to swim in the water towards the shark, but it was actually found out that consistently it's faster to long jump to the shark like that than it is to swim to the shark.
Yeah.
And so now everyone's got better golds because of it.
Yeah, so that little edge there is a platform that you can stand on. It acts just like really shallow water. So if you like stood on it with a bee power up, you would lose your bee mushroom. But yeah.
At Sea Slide Purples.
Yeah.
So while we're in this auto scroller, do we have time for a couple of donations?
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Fantastic. We got a $5 donation from Fiery saying, "My morning coffee cafe is closed today, so this money is going towards a better cause. Donate goes to Fantasy Zone. Have a good run." And we also have $100 from Sammy with no comment. Might just quickly remind people of those donation incentives. We've got the Smile for Me Whack-A-Mole minigame, which is sitting at 61 out of 400. And the Banjo-Kazooie Glitch Exhibition Taz video is sitting at 671 out of 750. So if you wanted to see either of those games, get your donations in, and thank you very much.
Coolio, because we are like right at the end of this silly auto scroller.
Yeah, so this level on its own is probably not fast enough for any percent, but the levels it unlocks are a lot faster, and you'll see that with a lot of routing choices.
Yeah.
Because we try to unlock fast stars.
It can be, like, that was the whole reason with the old route with Battle Rock as well, is that we would, because Battle Rock Comet was such a fast star, but it just turned out that it was not worth it in the end, and we just do Sling Pod instead. Oh, what do I do? Toy Time 2. I had a mind blank. I forgot which star I needed to do. Again, for example, Toy Time 1 as well is one of those other stars where it's quite a long star. But because Toy Time 2, Toy Time Secret, and Toy Time Comet, all 3 of them are like just over 2 minutes long a piece. And with Toy Time Comet being under 2 minutes, it just ends up being worth it playing the 3-minute Toy Time 1 to access all these levels. Shall I go? No, I won't go for it because I don't know how to do it. Oh, I got zapped. Very sad.
So we got some star chips to collect here.
Yeah. So, coming up on this massive, like, thing here, there's a screw that we're gonna be activating. We get this, like, cutscene here that we have to watch as the screw goes down. There's a 2P strat known as Screwless where you can avoid doing that screw. Do I get the big bonk? I got the big bonk. Where you can avoid doing that screw and just instantly grab that star chip. The reason it's difficult is because the camera is weird underneath that star chip. And so you can spawn the launch star easy by getting the star chip. But doing the second 2P jump's really annoying because the launch star actually blocks your 2P cursor, so you can't actually hit Luigi unless you have like a specific camera angle. But this final section, we get to jump on Mario's burning corpse and collect some silver stars.
Yeah, and that's true a lot of 2P jumps is that you can't 2P jump if there's something kind of between Mario and the camera.
Or in this case, Luigi.
Yeah.
Alright, coming up is Sea Slide 2 and Sea Slide Comet. Now, if you heard, I pulled off the Velcro, or I pulled off my second Wii Remote from my first Wii Remote. We don't need 2P in these 2 levels, and it's a hell of a lot nicer on the arm if we have one Wii Remote in hand. So, Sea Slide 2's a race. We have to race some penguins in the water. We go fast. we have to swim fast. And to swim fast, we need to go fast, obviously. But the fastest method of swimming is to completely just, like, sporadically shake your Wii remote as hard as you can constantly for, like, a minute and hope to get through. So if you'd like to guess the time I'm going to get, any time between 54 and 105 is considered good.
I'll go with 57.
57? There we go. Okay, that beginning was kind of bad. Yeah, so...
near the end... Go ahead.
Jeez, that was not what I wanted to do, but it worked. Sorry, you can talk about surface swims.
Okay, sure. So near the end, where the water is kind of flat, you're gonna see Lachurs go for what's called a surface swim, where he will kind of try to intersect the top of the water at a certain point, so that the water, he's on the surface but he's shaking, and that gives him a much faster speed than just swimming underwater. But it's pretty difficult to do.
Actually, I'm gonna take back what you said about it being difficult, because it's not difficult. The actual strat to doing it is by holding down. That was really bad. 103.45. By holding down on the Wii remote as you enter the water or going to the surface, as long as you're holding down and constantly shaking, you will get a surface swim on, at maximum, the third bob. And not a lot of people know that, so they spend a lot of time there trying to set it up by moving the control stick up and down, but as long as you're holding down, you'll get it. So, while you thought, you know, oh god, the insane amount of shaking is over, no, you get to do it again.
Yeah.
In Seaslide Comet.
Cosmic Luigi race.
Now, this Luigi race can be quite annoying sometimes, when going for the surface swim, because again, with the holding down strat, there's like a million more shells in the water now, because Nintendo wants you to use the shell to beat Cosmic Luigi, and if you do use the shell, you pretty much are guaranteed to beat him, as long as you get in the water before him. But by surface swimming, we can save like a whole bunch of time. Also, I didn't go for some reason I didn't go for an FPJ there. Got it. Okay, we weren't 0-4 for So as you saw, I bobbed up 3 times and got the surface swim. And I bonked on the thing and grabbed a shell. Okay, I got a second try. But you can see how much faster you move in comparison to the shell there.
Mm-hmm. And then the other interesting thing is that Cosmic Mario moves a lot slower. Like, he'll kind of go on the shore and run around for a bit, whereas Cosmic Luigi, like, if you're playing casually and you take the shell, you have to, like, your race basically has to be perfect to beat Cosmic Luigi. Yeah,
for some reason Nintendo thought it would be a good idea to make Cosmic Luigi harder than Cosmic Mario. Which is like the only thing they've changed between the two.
We got time for a quick donation?
Yeah, I guess we do.
We got a $50 anonymous donation going towards the Banjo Glitch exhibition. Thank you very much for that. And we are about $29 away from meeting that, guys. So
come on, guys, let's get it. Let's get that done before. Let's get that done before the run ends. We don't have long. So this is our Toy Time secret. The premise of this level: you collect 50 star bits and then feed a hungry Luma. And he spawns a massive new planet, which I don't like. But what you'll see me do before I enter this launch star here, like we said earlier, there's a few seconds before the launch star actually spawns, it becomes active. So I go into first person there to load the cycles of the tox boxes. So that way they're moving. They've already moved, and I can make that there. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to grab that first, like, thingo. The first flip switch earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, this is annoying. No one likes this. I don't like this long jump. It's weird. I guess I'm gonna have to go slow. This is sad. Slow in a speed run. This is so unfortunate.
Yeah, these cycles are kind of complicated to do fast.
The nice.
Also, these red.
Yeah, these red platforms are weird sometimes.
You can hold them down with 2P, so that makes it a little easier for us 2P-ers.
Oh, I got bonked. This is so unfortunate. I got bonked. Oh, that works. Wait, did I miss one? No, I got it. What? Please. Okay, good.
Oh, you got a...
Yeah, I got hit. So I guess Luigi had to spend some time standing up first. It's okay, in the time he was standing up, we got pushed forward, so... Guess it wasn't that unoptimal. Yeah. So, we really enjoyed doing that, like, flip switch area, so let's do it again. Yeah. It's like we were saying earlier, this is a Speedster Comet. So, the Tox boxes and the red panels move a lot faster now. Which makes this, like... I mean, the red panels are a lot easier now. The cycles are a lot nicer. And because they move faster, you can, like, go through them without having to have to, like, awkwardly maneuver around them. But these Tox boxes are just a pain. Oh, I did the thing. I love when you turn on the first flip switch, turn around, and then as you're walking off it, you turn it off.
Yes.
That's good. Alright, cool. So that's pretty much the hardest part of this level, and then these red platforms. Pretty easy to understand where they're going to be. That was a good long jump, Luigi. I need to wait for this cycle. It's kind of annoying that I messed up that first, like, flip switch hit. Happened again? Really? Okay, cool. Righty. Well, we're coming to the end of Engine Room now. We've got one more pretty simple star to go. And that's, Gold Leaf Secret. So we start and end Engine Room with Gold Leaf, which is something. It's not really anything important. It's just the Gold Leaf S happens to be the last level of the run. Last level of the run. No, it's not. That's a lie. It's way from the last level of the run. Still have to collect more stars after this. Unfortunately. Much to my dismay. Oh yeah, cutscenes. That's one thing else about running this game is, especially in 120, every stage you're going to have to skip at least one cutscene. Like every galaxy that isn't a one-star galaxy, except for Billy Base.
Is there secrets?
Yeah. I'm going to do another lap to try and grab all the rest of the ones that I missed. Except for these ones. Don't grab that ring. It was really bad. So what I was trying to do there was called... I don't think it has a name, but you pretty much just hold A and change direction. You can grab all those music notes. It's very difficult. Done it once before. Only once. Ever. I was attempting it. But yeah, that's the end of Engine Room. And we don't have to ever go back to Engine Room ever again. So we can say goodbye to this Luma here. And this Gizmo. And we get to go back to Kitchen. So you may be wondering, long jumping down here is faster than taking this little teleporter thing. Just barely, it saves like a second. And now we can do buoy base. So buoy base wasn't unlocked in our first visit of kitchen, but now it is. I think how many stars did it unlock again?
30.
30. So yeah, by the time we finish kitchen, so we get our 30th star at Airship Armada. Just ends up being a lot nicer to do this. And Drip Drop is also here at kitchen, so we end up just doing this now and then getting Drip Drop. It's kind of annoying though, this level is a bit of a pain sometimes for me. In my new PB that I got yesterday, this was like the biggest time loss of the run. But first we have to go all the way down to here and lure a Bullet Bill towards this massive like boulder that's holding this platform down. You may be wondering, oh no, he's not going to have enough air. No, I'm not. But I'm not going to die. Unless I'm bad. So there, we made it just in time. I reckon I was maybe a frame or two away from. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and I mean you don't die. You take damage from 2 to 1 and then to 0. But
okay, why have I been?
right here, Lachurs is gonna climb to the very top. Normally you're supposed to get a bunch of blue star chips to spawn pole stars, but Lachurs is gonna do a spring boost from this spring, and he's gonna spin right as he hits the spring so that he gets a little bit more height, and then he's gonna do a 2P jump to get him up to the next planet.
Oh, well, I can't even do that, so. You don't actually need the extra boost height, by the way. You can just do a normal jump height.
Yeah.
And get a triple.
But you do need the 2P jump if you're gonna
2P jump.
Yeah, there you go.
For some reason, I struggle to get that 2P jump sometimes.
You can do that 1P too, it's just a little bit more precise.
I don't think we actually ever mentioned at all during this run, but one thing I was doing like every time I landed from a launch star was something called a camera cancel.
Yeah.
Where you just quickly press up and down on your 1P D-pad, and it sort of gets you out of the landing animation of whenever you land from like a launch star. Because Luigi sort of gets stunned a bit, so you just do that and it stops. There are some places where you cannot do it, or you can do it, but it's like frame perfect almost. Hurry Scurry is one of them.
Space Junk 2 is another one, I think.
So yeah, we're re-entering... Oh, cutscene skip! Oh my god. I'm having a
The
day.
classic forgetting to pay attention and
This is what happens when you're explaining something. You forget about things. Yeah. So there's a secret pipe here. I wonder what it does. I shook my Wii remote, but okay. Whoa, there's another star there. I accidentally grabbed star, this is so unfortunate. So usually I would jump on top of this like glass platform here and you would like fall into the star. But last time I tried to do that, I just jumped straight into the star. Jumped it straight into the Bullet Bill.
yeah.
But that's the end of Buoy Base. We got another green star. One more green star and we would have unlocked Trials. That green star is in Dusty Dune, so we don't do that. But now we get to feed our third and final Hungry Luma of the run. One thing I'm also doing that you're probably not noticing, but through those text boxes with the Hungry Lumas, I'm holding B, which is the button you use to shoot starbits. And that means, like, that means as soon as I'm pointing my Wii remote at the Luma, doesn't even matter if I'm pointing away from the Luma, as soon as I'm pointing my Wii remote at the Luma, it'll start shooting starbits at it. Yeah. So here's a hard level, hard strat, so I'm going to focus if you want to explain it.
Yeah, so Drip Drop is a level that is on cycles, similar to Gusty Garden 2. All of these eels move on a cycle, and Lachurs needs to be very careful that he goes all the right ways so that the camera is in the right spot. If he does it, he'll be able to shoot all these eels really quickly. Let's see if he can get it here. Looks good so far.
Yeah, I think it's good. Although this... Where's... Okay. The shell was not being grabbed. I'm gonna do my old strat. So, for some reason, just like in Mario Kart, red shells home onto things.
Yeah.
So, ideally what I would have done is I would have grabbed that green shell, but for some reason I was nowhere near the green shell, so I completely missed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to resort to just just not grabbing it and following that until the red shell. An old strat I used to do there was to hit that not the one that I hit first, but the one that I hit second first, and then follow that third one all the way to the red shell, and then the last one that we hit first would appear over another red shell, which was nice. That's kind of sounded confusing, but yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty hard start for beginners.
Yeah, but that strat's a lot more consistent than what I was doing there. That is not a direction. So we're coming up to Honey Hive Luigi. I had to talk to Toad for the last time for this run.
Mm-hmm.
And
our last star before we go fight Bowser.
Yeah. Like we said, it's kind of fitting that our second star and our second last star are both in Terrace. There we go, that's what it should be. I think, like Good Egg Luigi, you can grab Honey Hive Luigi in any of the 3 stars.
Yeah, I believe so.
So even though it says the question mark on 1, you can enter like 2. I think. Yeah, Luigi's just sort of climbed up a tree because this stupid bug who runs away from you when you get near it.
We didn't even mention forward slope climbing. If you just walk up a slope, you can just kind of spin up the slope. They fixed it in Galaxy too.
But it's only on some slopes. So like, for example, you couldn't do it on the tree there in Honey Hive 1.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So that was the penultimate start, and we're going into the final level.
Yep.
Galaxy Generator, which is a level.
Mm-hmm.
Time for one quick donation before you go to that.
Sure.
Go for
There's
it.
a long cutscene before we start, so...
Brilliant. Alright, we got a $10 donation from Christos who says Mario Galaxy was one of the first games 100%. Luigi's purple coins still gives me flashbacks to this day. Absolutely fascinated by the 2-player Wii Road setup in this run. Keep up the great work and thanks for the morning watching, Lachurs. Put this donation towards the Banjo Glitch exhibition, which is currently sitting at $731.69 out of $750, which means we need $18.31
Come on,
to
boys.
get that incentive.
$18.
So we're very, very close to getting that. And the Whack-A-Mole minigame incentive is sitting at 61 out of 400. But yeah, that Banjo-Kazooie Glitch exhibition, the Taz video, very close to getting met, so get your donations in.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, back to you.
We've got 6 minutes, boys. 6 minutes until my run ends. We can do it. We can get $18 in 6 minutes. We can do it. If we do the math, that's $3 a minute.
$3.
Yeah, Rosalina tells us to go.
Oh, Luigi.
Go, Luigi. So we go. Some reason, the observatory with 60 stars has enough power to go to the castle. And somehow spawns in a bridge.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange because the observatory morphs into a spaceship, but every other galaxy we go to, you just sort of launch star to.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the final level. This level's pretty difficult too. There are some really annoying cycles and tricks and whatnot. So it is definitely like a level I should be focusing in and not talking right now.
Yeah, we're gonna see Lachurs potentially go for a pretty fast strat here at the start.
Called getting burnt there.
Yeah, you can kind of climb up on the top of these. You're supposed to use these as gravity to bring you along.
How many star bits should I get at the end?
Whatever you want. put 18 for the $18.
At 16, and I'm now well over 18.
Yeah. All right. At this fire planet, we can just go around. There's an invisible wall, but if we just go to the left, we'll be able to jump around it.
I think this is the only part where we actually do it intentionally.
Nice planet, pretty straightforward.
Nice. Yeah, there you can just like skip having to do all that by just long jumping over there.
Now this planet's a little bit weird. It's really, really hard to get through here without taking damage, so Lachurs is just gonna take the damage and...
It ends up being fine because later on there's just 2 coins sitting underneath a thwomp.
Yeah.
So there, that movement kind of looked awkward, but it was to stop that bullet bill from being a menace to me. Sometimes if that bullet bill is still alive, you can it can hit you underneath the thwomp and then you can just die because you get thwomped. Okay, that was weird. Fun fact about bullet bills, you can crouch underneath them and you won't take damage.
Yeah, the idea there was that Lachurs was going for a damage boost through that bullet bill.
Okay, that was tight. Oh, I missed every coin. I'm grabbing the Mega Mushroom.
Oh.
Actually, no, I should be fine. I can grab a coin right at the start of the Bowser fight.
Yeah.
I was just giving you guys more time to get $18 in for the donation incentive.
Yes, we have now hit the...
We've done it.
So, thank you very much for those donations that came in for it.
Perfect.
Forgot time to read them out, or you? I know you're facing Bowser now.
I'm facing Bowser. Bowser's being
I might do it after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was probably the hardest thing in the entire level, stairs.
Yeah. These stairs are a pain to get up.
Oh, they can be annoying. Yeah. Bowser sort of talks to us for a little bit, and then we go into the fight. And this is about the point in the run where I'm a lot more calm, because we've got past like the hard part of the level.
Fight isn't too bad.
I mean, 1 health is not good.
It doesn't die, but
Dying loses a lot of time in this fight, but it's pretty easy not to die in this level. Don't make me eat my words, though. Well, that's okay. I didn't mind getting bonked like that because I wanted to get that coin. Oh, wait. I can literally shoot star bits at this thing. Forgot about that.
yeah. The little lights give you coins.
So on this next planet, if you remember from all the way back in Good Egg 2, how we had the green, like, thingos, well, they return. And we can
And you
hit...
can 2P them to make this part really fast. So let's just kind of fling the...
The only way to hit Bowser in this section is to use the 2P orbs, or the 2P orbs, the green orbs. And here we have the final Bowser fight, the final section. I have exactly 111 star bits, I'm going to keep it that way. So here I take damage on purpose, and that gets him out of his like rolling ball state. So that way he just jumps instantly and we can get him to land on that blue platform. Again, we're going to cancel his attack by hitting his tail, but we're going to purposely, when we run away from his ball attack, we're going to purposely aim to try and hit one of these 2 fireballs, which he just snuffed both out. No. Yeah. By hitting those fireballs, it cancels his rolling again, as we did previously. And that actually goes with every single fight, like Bowser fight. If you take damage during a phase, Bowser will actually just skip doing that. So that was the final hit on Bowser. Timing ends when we grab the star, the big boy star, the grand star at the end of the run. So yeah, that was a pretty good run, honestly. I actually don't know what time I was getting because I was not watching the stream, nor was I timing myself.
It's about a 2:37.
2:37? That's pretty good for a no reset, especially considering I was pulling off, like, going for heaps of strats and whatnot.
Mm.
Oh, and we had a stream restart mid-run.
Yeah. For anyone that's looking to get into this game, definitely a pretty easy game to learn, but it has a really high
There, it's
skill
done.
ceiling.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, very high skill ceiling. I highly recommend learning 2P. Or at least giving it a go, because some of this tech, it seems like it's difficult to do, but a lot of what I do with 2P is not to save time per se, but to make strats easier. Yeah. And I started off as a 1P runner myself, so I know just how much easier it is to do those 2P strats. But yeah, our community is a great community. Everyone gets around each other whenever someone PBs or someone's doing something for an event. Very welcoming of new runners.
Yeah, and we're currently at a point where we're kind of really breaking up in the game because there's a lot of new 2P runners starting out, and it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, especially considering 2P had been kind of stagnant and not really something people wanted to run for a very long time. Yeah. And we're actually, what's amazing is we're currently like in the midst of doing more timing on the current route, because there may be a potential that the 2P route does Good Egg 3 now because of a new 2P strat that was discovered. We love to have more 2P runners as well, because the more 2P runners there are, the more 2P strats we can find. And I definitely think like we have not fully fleshed out this game 2P yet. Yeah. Any other closing remarks from you, Flygon?
Good. It's a great run.
Thanks, man. I did well.
Really a great show of all the 2P strats that can be done in this game.
Rightio.
Thanks
Well,
for having me, Lachurs.
thanks for having me, Flygon. It was great fun. And good job on meeting the donation incentive too, boys. That was insane. We've got this. Rightio. Well, I guess that's it from us.